Hey folks, Jason here with another quick music theory tip. This video is in response to a request from Pat. Pat asked, Jason, can you do a video showing efficient ways to use a few chord substitutions for a 2-5-1 or 1-4-5 chord progression? First off, thank you so much, Pat. I appreciate the request, and I think this is a great request because as musicians, a lot of the songs we end up playing often stick with just a few chords. You might play an entire show where most of the songs are just using the chord progression of the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, back to the 1 chord. So having a few substitutions or embellishments or variations on that basic progression can really help. There are thousands of possibilities which I'll show over the course of several videos in this series, but for this first video I'm going to show you what I played at the top of the video. So we're going to start with just the basic 1 chord. Keep in mind I'm in the key of F major here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1 are the scale degrees with the notes of F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and then we resolve back to F. So the 1 chord is going to be an F major chord. Now, even if you have limited chord vocabulary on piano, guitar, whatever instrument you're playing, all you have to do is add 1 note to this basic 1 chord to create a variation. What we're going to do is add what's referred to as the dominant 7 or flat 7. This would be, for the F chord, an E flat on top of the F chord. The reason it's called the flat 7 is because if we're in the key of F major, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7th note of the scale, but then we flat it or lower it by 1 half step. So that F we played, our 1 chord, we're going to simply add the E flat or flat 7 on top. This is going to lead us nicely into our B flat chord. So instead of simply going F to B flat, we can have a little variety in movement here by doing F, F7 to B flat. Now, folks who play chordal instruments, if you're starting to learn guitar, piano, anything like that, you might just be thinking about strumming all the notes at once or playing all the notes at once. But keep in mind that you can also have the bass note change while the rest of the chord stays the same. And that's the next thing I'm going to do. Instead of going from the 4 chord to the 5 chord, I'm going to have only the left hand change to scale degree 5. So we're going to have the 1 chord, add that flat 7, and then move up 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 4 chord. In my left hand, I'm going to change to scale degree 5, but I'm going to keep this 4 chord in the right hand. And we get this really cool effect. There's a lot of ways to describe this chord. Sometimes it's written as a chord symbol of B flat / C. You can also think about, if you want to, as a C sus add 9 omit the 5th. There's so many ways to interpret this chord, but the simplest way really think about it is that you're just keeping the 4 chord and changing the bass note from the 4th note of the scale to the 5th note of the scale. And this creates a really cool kind of almost gospel effect that you can resolve back to the 1 chord. So let's do that whole progression in context. The 1 chord, the 1 chord with the flat 7 added, the 4 chord, keep the 4 chord in the right hand or upper voices, but move the bass note to the scale degree 5 while maintaining the 4 chord and resolve back to 1. If you would like a sheet music transcription of what I've played in this video, please feel free to email me at the email address in the description box below.